Hello and welcome to Primetime Football, the last episode of NFL Wildcard, Monday Night Football between the Steelers and the Texans. What's my storyline here? Blood Demons Overtime. We all know Steelers are using some kind of dark magic to create all their advantages. I'm just kidding, obviously. But like Priest, baptizing or whatever he was doing the field, you start to think they have some unnatural forces to get their advantage. But let's be honest, it's really grueling and tough job because man, oh man, like this team needs a lot. They need a lot to really get where they want to go. That little miss, call me crazy, but there was a lot of faith put into this one. Now, they will face the Texans. How do they square? What are the key important matchups? Let's take a look. DK versus Derek Stingley. Alright, so let's start on the side of the Steelers. They don't have Darnell Washington, and that's a huge problem in my eyes because their offense is not great. They've played occasional really good football against some lesser defenses, but now they are facing one of the best, if not the best defense in football. And last 2 weeks they were without DK Metcalf because of his interaction with the fan. Now he's back. And he's their like big play threat and a guy that they want to feed their passing offense through. They've already added some talent in Adam Thielen and they have experienced guys, but they need the alpha. And DK could be an alpha. The problem is on the other side you have Derek freaking Stingley, and that's like easily top 5 corner in the league. Some would even give him the crown. I would probably not be like this high on him, but he deserves an elite status in my eyes. And he has it for me. So I feel like he's one of the guys that is capable of taking DK out of the game. And we know DK can get frustrated, can get stupid penalties when something like that happens. Now, is he without a chance? No, because he has Aaron Rodgers. And I'm not saying Aaron is like anywhere close to his former self. Like he cannot move like that. He cannot throw like this. But what is very important and clearly stages the set not favorably towards the Steelers, but with a chance, is how much he's invested in this team. It really feels like he takes this as potentially his last opportunity in the NFL. And from what I heard, he just spent a lot of time to get on the same page with his receivers. And I feel like if DK Metcalf and Aaron Rodgers are on the same page, the ball is being delivered exactly on time. He, with his frame, is almost unguardable. He can have a game in which you cannot guard him one-on-one, and with Aaron Rodgers and his ability to still put the ball precisely on time, precisely on the place, and very freaking quickly, he could be a huge pain in the ass for this Texans defense because the quickness, I'm not saying it takes out the Will Anderson and Daniel Hunter, but definitely limits them. And the frame that DK has is just so huge that Derek Stingley, even though he's a big guy, etc., could not match him. So there is definitely a world in which DK is absolutely cooking because of the connection with Aaron Rodgers. Now, there's a couple of problems with that. The moment it's not super quick, the pass rush is going to get there. Will Anderson and Daniel Hunter is the best duo in the league. The second the ball is thrown not precisely, the throw is somehow influenced. Derek Stingley is top 3 in terms of ball hawking as a corner, top 5 at worst. He's truly special in this regard. So you are risking turnovers every time you throw at Derek Stingley. And let's face it, he's going to be guarding DK Metcalf. I would be shocked if he doesn't. Especially to the start. If he's cooking him because of the frame, because of Aaron Rodgers' connection, maybe they will just they will adjust. But from the start, I do expect Derek Stingley to follow DK. So this is something that could provide a big advantage in early parts of the game for the Steelers, because I think there's a way that just no matter what Derek Stingley does, the connection could be unguardable. But at the same time, it could be something that we might see an interception within 15 or 20 minutes of the game, because Derek Stingley is special in that. And obviously in coverage, he's a truly special player. So definitely a matchup to focus on in my eyes, and clearly the number one for me. Now, the second one is when you look at Steelers defense, and why I don't love this matchup for the Steelers is their defense is, again, highest paid in terms of percentage of cap space, etc., and they are not playing up to that potential, clearly. Like, I don't want to hear like anyone arguing. It's clear. They are not playing as the best defense in football. And they have particular weakness, and that's allowing big plays and rushing. But in last game, and especially in this one, I feel like what can rear its ugly head up is allowing big plays. Because what happened against the Baltimore is kind of undefensible. Like, it's fourth quarter. You are kind of playing preventive defense, and you still allow two huge plays from Zay Flowers, like 50 and 60 yard touchdown. Like, how is that able to happen? And the problem is, I think Texans have, better version of Zay Flowers in Nico Collins. To me, he is a guy that not necessarily is talked about as with like the Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chases of the world this year, Puka and JSN. And I don't think he's on that elite level with them, where like if you look at Madden ratings, I would be like Nico is over 90, which to me puts him into elite category, but it's like 91, 92, and the other guys are like 95 plus. So even though they are like same labeled for me, there is still tier within a tier, but it doesn't mean that Nico Collins is not special. And I'm just not certain that we don't see another like one or two bombs to Nico Collins or some other wide receiver from the Texans that just will go for 50, 60 yard touchdown, because Steelers cannot like cover that somehow, some way. Even though they have a lot of talent and a lot of experience, perhaps they are missing some type of speed. Now, a guy that could be on Nico Collins' duty is Jalen Ramsey, who like converts towards a safety. He's playing kind of all over the field. Is that potentially a problem where like sometimes he's playing a position and it's not well communicated? Perhaps. But I still feel like he had a really good year. I think the conversion is absolutely justified. They were right in the process of acquiring him for Minka Fitzpatrick. I think he was playing better than Minka this year. And they see, okay, maybe the speed for a corner is not there for another 4 or 5 years, but conversion to safety, I think Jalen can play another 4 or 5 years in the NFL at this spot and be very, very good at it. Can he guard Nico Collins? That's another question. So that's where I'm like, okay, Texans can run the ball not well, so I don't expect them to necessarily take advantage of that matchup, but at the same time, it's like they can throw ball down the field and find Nico Collins for big chunks, and Steelers in game of the year for them just proved that even though that's literally what they focus on stopping, they cannot. So that's worrying for me. That's very worrying. Now, when we talk about this offense, like I said, the other perks for having is run game. And Woody Marks, even though like he's having a solid year for rookie, he is not a feature back, at least to me. He is a solid player. And they don't have a better option, which is worrying. Because you would love to run on the Steelers, because TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, Alex Highsmith, they are special pass rushers, man. And how do you limit pass rush? Obviously with run game. And Steelers, kind of uncharacteristically so, they were not able to stop the run a lot this year. But I don't see Texans taking advantage of it. So where I definitely see a reason for optimism for the Steelers is the defensive line should absolutely freaking dominate. They should. Again, like people will be, okay, so where's TJ Watt? I think Cam Hayward is like, I think last 2 years, he's been more influential and better player. I know it's almost criminal to say, but like look at Cam. Like he has been amazing. Like given his age, it's just like, it's very close to like what Demario Davis is doing. And like these guys are like freaking special, but his batted passes, he's able to stop the run, not necessarily being a nose tackle, but like really influence run game, pass game. He's a special force from the interior. So my recipe for success for the Steelers is actually quite simple. Feed your pass game through DK Metcalf and overcome the improving but still not great offensive line of the Texans. In that case, we could see kind of an ugly game, 13-10. It might even be like, I would not be surprised if we don't see a touchdown, but it needs to be Steelers are able to limit big plays. And that's like the one area where I'm just like, I don't trust this defense to do so. And the game where it really should be a low-scoring game, it should be like kickers making their worth. One big play could just go so freaking long way in terms of deciding who the winner is. And that's where ultimately I will lean into. I think Steelers have great chances to add first victory for TJ Watt, but I just don't trust them to limit big plays or be able to make more of them against this Texans defense that CJStroud and Nico Collins will create for Texans offense. So ultimately, I'm leaning towards the Texans, but this is a matchup in which I can really visualize how this could be going, what are advantages, disadvantages, and I'm so excited how the chess match between the coaches is going to go. So, it might not be a shootout, but it should be a really great game to just watch the adjustments. So, bring it on, guys. I'm excited. With you, we will see each other for the next round. We don't know who's going to play, other for my Seahawks and the Broncos. So see you with them, and have a nice day and enjoy the wildcard round.